Well, I mean, this has been tremendous today. I mean, Harry Dent meeting Ivanka Trump. Folks, the economy we're in now is a wonderful economy, and it's not one to complain about. But one of the things we need to do is we need to look forward and see what our life can do for everyone else's lives. And what I mean by that is how can you make a difference in the world? And there is a comedian who's a great guy, and he actually used to have a reality show about managing your credit. His name is Larry Winget, and he's a buddy of mine, and I saw a post he had written on Facebook a couple days ago, and I made a couple notes on it because it made a lot of sense to me. And when we're looking at the economy, when we're looking at what we do in our own personal lives, there are some things that really make a difference. And the title of what he wrote was 10 Things That Will Never Fail You. Now let's think about that. There are 10 things that will never fail you. You can depend on yourself, and really in life, who else can you depend on besides your close family, your friends, and yourself? We like to blame other people a lot of times for our own faults, but if we can do these 10 things, I think life will go in automatic pilot in the right direction for you. Number one is honesty. How important is it to have someone be honest with you? And I know we call it honest to a fault. We've heard that before, where you have a close friend and they tell you the truth about something you've done, and it's not something you want to hear. Would you rather hear your friend tell you the truth, or would you rather have a lot of people behind your back laughing at you? So honesty, be honest to yourself, be honest to the folks you're with. In my profession, I'm a financial advisor, I'm an investment advisor, I'm a radio show host. Honesty is important to me. I don't like any guest on my show who is on the edge of honesty. And that's where we call it the gray area when we're looking at tax code, the edge of honesty. I want the truth. And when you go to the court, you put your hand on the Bible and you say you're going to tell the truth, so help you God. Well, there's really no other way to look at it, but honesty is important. And you can tell when someone's not quite honest, especially these days in the society we're in. You can fact check anything you hear. So honesty is important. Do it the right way first, and you never have to apologize. And that goes hand in hand, and number two on Larry's list was integrity. You want to deal with someone who you can trust, is going to be there, who you know is telling you the truth and does things the right way. There's all these get-rich-quick scams these days, and gosh, we hear these ads every single day for put your money over here and you'll get a great return. Even these silver and gold shows that are on the radio, they're kind of confusing to me because they're making promises that they might not keep. Another thing I hear about is something that came about in the late 90s. And they were everywhere. They were in the infomercials on TV. They were in magazine articles. How to be your own trader. How to make 2% per month in the stock market, or 2% a week. Just by their system. You know, it's all great and it's all easy when the market goes up. And I've seen, I'm 48 years old now, and Harry Dent was talking about this earlier today, Harry. We're talking about the way bubbles exist. And so it's easy until it isn't when we're talking about the stock market. So make sure that you're dealing with someone who's dealing with real facts. Make sure you're doing that yourself, too. By the way, I mentioned my radio show today is June 20th, 2014. My very first radio show was June 20th, 2005, 9 years ago. Now, it doesn't seem like a long time, does it? 9 years, gosh, 9 years is nothing. It's not even a decade. But if you look at 50 shows every single year, you multiply that times 9, now we're talking about the dog year kind of thing. When you look at it, when you have a dog that's 7 years old, you say, really, it's 50 years old in dog years. Radio's been a tremendous accomplishment for us, and the number one reason that we've been successful, actually there's two reasons. We've been honest with our listeners, and we have never stretched the truth. So if you poll our listeners, they'll say that we were practicing integrity. Hard work is number 3 on Larry's list, and hard work is something, I've talked to people before, they'll go out and mow the lawn for an hour, they'll come in and say they did a hard work for the week. Hard work is whatever you think it is, but to me, hard work is making sure that you're on top of your game in your profession, whatever it is, and also make sure that your advisors that you're dealing with in the financial world, the tax world, the legal world are on top of their game, make sure they're working hard for you. Being nice is number 4 on Larry's list. Now, seems simple, doesn't it? It is until it isn't. I can't tell you how many times I've been in either large groups or small groups, and then when we get in private conversations with folks, how all of a sudden they are trashing somebody else. So that's not good, and word gets around. So being nice is important because bad news travels fast, and if you talk bad about somebody, you can be guaranteed it's going to get back to that person. I like to watch reality shows, and these shows about the housewives. And it's funny, they'll film the housewives talking bad about each other, and they act like no one's going to hear about it. Of course, I watched it, so whoever the other housewives are, they're watching it too. So being nice is important, and it means a whole lot more than you realize. And really, there's no immediate dividends in money for that a lot of times, but it will come back really, really good for you in the future if you are nice to everybody. And if you don't like somebody, don't hang around them. Excel in what you do is number 5 on his list, and that's very important. We see a lot of people who just get by, just do what it takes to get the job done. And I'm an employer. I have 12 employees, and I can tell which ones. Now, I have all 12 of my employees are real good now, but back in the day, I could tell which employees were just getting by. I called it the Fred Flintstone syndrome, where if you ever watched Fred Flintstone, when the clock hit 5, he slid right down, the dinosaur was gone for the day, yabba dabba doo. Well, I don't want yabba dabba doo when we're talking about leaving. I want yabba dabba doo when we're talking about doing the best job possible and working over and above what's necessary. And if you do that in your working life, I guarantee it that your employers will recognize that. Also, your fellow employees will. They'll be jealous sometimes, but maybe they'll try harder too. So it'll lift the whole team up. There's an old saying that a rising tide lifts all boats, and that's what we look at when we have good employees and good job effort. Number 6 is exceed expectations, which goes right into number 5. If you do more than expected, people will realize that. You may not realize, or you might not see the effect right away, or you may not even think that people appreciate it or notice it, but I guarantee you, people notice it. Spending less than you earn, number 7. Now, this is a problem we have in the country. And Larry, I know you talked about that too, Harry. Larry Wingate also talks about that. And when he had the show, it was all about people overspending, spending more than they earn. So if you can spend less, save more, save it in the right place, you'll be a lot happier too. I mean, we've all been in debt before. I was in college. I mean, I had credit cards. I had 3 credit cards before I got out of college because every time I walked by the student union, there was somebody there ready to give me a free credit card. And so when you have a credit card, second thing you do is use it. First thing you do is get it. Second thing you do is use it. And you use it more than you should. And then the bills come. So be very careful and make sure you spend less than you earn. Number 8 on his list, save as much as possible, goes right into number 7. If you're not spending, you're saving. And I always say if you save $1 today, you can spend 3 tomorrow. And that's the beauty of compound interest, saving in the right place, making sure you're doing the right thing. Be charitable with your efforts, your time, and your money. And it will come back to you more than you ever imagined. And charity is very important to me. We give a lot from our show. We have a lot of campaigns that we raise money for different charities. I like to pick charities I believe in. I like to research the charities, make sure that most of the money that we donate goes to the actual cause and not to the boards. And there have been unfortunately, a lot of bad things in the past where people have given money to charities and the money doesn't go to where you think it's going to go. So make sure you do the research. I like cancer research. I like supporting our troops when they come back. Those are 2 of my favorite charities. But there are a lot of good ones out there. Just make sure that you research the charity and make sure you know where the money is going before you give any money at all. And number 10 is something I think I do a pretty good job in. You have to have a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, life is a very boring place. Make life fun. Make sure you save what you're supposed to save. Make sure you get an income plan in place for retirement. And don't depend on Social Security to be your only source of income. I talk to a lot of folks each and every day, ages 50 to 65, looking at that retirement plan, making sure they have that financial red zone taken care of. And the main thing that they tell me they're concerned about is they're not sure where the money's going to come from in retirement. You need to have a flow that's set up that'll give you a lifetime of income. I call it retirement autopilot, and a financial cruise control system that will give you an income for the rest of your life. You can be happy, you can be honest with yourself, honest with your family, and you can have a lot of fun in retirement by getting that income plan. Harry Dent, thanks for letting me come here to speak on the stage today. And folks, enjoy the rest of the day.